And now it's time for Insights.
In response to Renegade for Dio's video about teabaggers and fear, the recent arrest of members of a Christian militia group in Detroit brought something up to me. I understand these groups as well. I understand the fear involved. And it's palpable. It's scary. I've seen these from the inside out. Not all militias are strongly religious organizations, but they always have that element to them. I've never heard of a Jewish militia in the United States. I've never heard of an Islamic militia in the United States. I've only heard of Christian militias in the United States. They tend to have a chaplain of some kind. The leadership may or may not be particularly religious. But there's an economic underlying problem. Most of the people in these militias have been laid off from work, can't find jobs, are disabled in some way. And what you'll find is the people who are capable of doing the most in the organization are the people who have the fewest problems. It's not that they are the ones who are the most motivated. They are the ones who are the most capable. If a 400-pound, 5'6" man wanted to do an attack on some kind of a building, he would probably have difficulty doing it himself. If he had a 20 or 30-something-year-old accomplice who was not disabled and destitute and had taken some schooling, that would be different. That's the kind of situation we're facing with Middle Eastern terrorism. It's the kind of situation we're dealing with domestic terrorism. Now, the kind of fear I'm talking about, just because somebody's an atheist or even a liberal does not necessarily mean that they truly trust the government. I have a friend, and hopefully not a former friend, after watching this video, but I have a friend who's a military man. He came over to visit my house one day and saw a small card that I had. I wanted to show it to him. It was a relic from the Cold War era. And he told me that this is government property. He wasn't going to confiscate it, but he was just going to let me know. That sent a cold chill through me. It was like crossing the Rubicon. I let the man into my home. I never thought about it. I didn't see him as an agent of a scary, powerful organization that could simply do things to me in my own home. I thought of him as my buddy who happened to be an army guy. But that kind of brought it home that the military or the government could actually intrude upon what little control I have in my small rural home. This is the kind of fear that is at the root of militia groups, of all kinds of militant organizations. Now, these extremist groups are often associated and claimed to be racist, and some of them are, and some of them are simply political, but racist members come in. Some of the better members, or the more influential ones, sometimes are not racist, and yet there are crazy whack jobs in them that are racist. They kind of attract the nuttier members of the society. And this is a scary aspect as well. We have a lot of economic problems in the state of Michigan and in the country as a whole. I think the problem with these organizations is that the military-like aspect of it, the paramilitary aspect of it, and the religious aspect of it work together to overwhelm the notion of empathy. They overwhelm the sense of empathy so that only the sense of duty remains. The sense of duty overwhelms a person's thoughts of another person's well-being. This is a real problem. It's really useful for anyone who has people under their control this way. Very useful. Whether for political or for religious reasons, it's very useful to have people who are willing to sacrifice other people's feelings and needs for their duty. But it's one of the most dangerous things that can happen. People can be good people in general, but once their empathy has been shut off or otherwise bypassed, they're willing to do some of the most terrible atrocities known to man. And that's true of communists, it's true of militia groups, it's true of jihadists, it's true of just about anybody. Once you're able to say that duty is more important than empathy towards other human beings, and once you're able to get a real surge going of public sentiment, almost anything is possible. And usually with terrible results. Thank you.